This episode of Fern and Friends is brought to you by our sponsors at Island, Mechanized AI, and Torres Event Management. Hey friends! Welcome back to another edition of Fern and Friends, which is part of the Fern Effect. Hey Tyrone, we've got another phenomenal woman in tech to introduce today.
Hey Fern, you are surely bringing the talent. I'd say we are a flow state with these women in tech that are bringing the heat.
LOL. You got it, Tyrone. I am intentional about bringing great talent to the show to talk about how they are using AI every day and in every way. So let's jump in to today's guest.
Got it. I see we are chatting it up with Miss Canshara Washington. Let me see what we can find about this budding tech executive. Our guest today proves that career paths don't have to be straight lines to lead somewhere extraordinary. Canshara Washington is a technology project leader who's built her career by embracing opportunity, leading with purpose, and giving back every step of the way. From breaking into tech to helping others do the same, she brings a fresh perspective on leadership, growth, and navigating today's AI-powered workplace. Canshara, welcome to Fern and Friends.
She knows she can fly away.
So we're going to fly away and welcome you into this next edition of Fern and Friends with Canshara Washington, who's flying in gracefully and beautifully from California. Welcome in, Canshara.
Thank you, Fern. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here with you today.
What? Girl, I am so excited. Not only are you just a beautiful young lady, but you have such a warm spirit. And you're so poised in how you present yourself, and I just love it. And I'm so proud of you. And we're highlighting you for a couple of reasons. One, I was just in Atlanta a few weeks with you, girl.
Yes.
And you were completing ITSMF's Management Academy as a co-valedictorian.
Great. It's great.
And now I said, Canshara, girl, don't you want to be on the podcast and talk about what you're doing with AI? And you were like, absolutely, auntie. Absolutely, auntie.
Right. Yes. Gosh, absolutely. And
So
I'm so
welcome.
thankful that you invited me here today. And obviously, congratulations to you on 30 years at PepsiCo as a vice president and all the wonderful things. You know, I'm just so grateful to have you as a role model and just all the amazing things you're doing, how you're using AI, even with your podcast and just your bubbly spirit and you always ever learning. So I'm just, yeah, so happy to be here.
Well, we're happy to have you, and thank you for that. And my whole MO right now is pouring into you guys, you ladies and gents, this next generation of leaders in tech who are going to help us soar through how do we use AI, how do we use quantum computing, how do we integrate this kind of orchestration of things. So let's jump in because we only have like 10 minutes to get this whole conversation done.
Let's do it. Let's do it. I'm ready. I'm ready to go.
We're on fire. You're on fire. Tell me how you've been leveraging AI every day in every way.
Yeah, so I use AI kind of like a quiet collaborator and partner. So as a millennial, we try to find ways to do things better, and I probably use it to create grocery lists. I use it to research, to conduct analysis, to create websites, Substacks. And so AI is just really one of those tools that I use kind of every day. It didn't always start like that, but it's something that I use, quite frankly, every single day. As a matter of fact, it's interesting that you bring up ITSMF and me being a co-valedictorian. By the way, I'm so honored to have had that. Shout outs to Dr. Turner and Dr. Scott, Johanna, and you as one of the board of directors for that for the organization. And I remember actually building a digital AI avatar using AI technology for an executive presentation that we were working on. Now, the format of the program was hybrid, and we were supposed to give an executive level presentation to folks like yourself
Right.
on AI, but it ended up going virtual. Something fell through, and we were supposed to have a whole did a whole panel. We were supposed to really be pouring ourselves out into the audience and really talking about AI. So when it went virtual, we had to figure out how do we still keep the magic of the having a
Mm.
moderator and the magic of us still being presenters. We didn't want anyone wearing double hats. And so I thought to myself, in my millennial mind, how can I create this experience for these evaluators, folks who are vice presidents, CEOs, CIOs, the whole nine. And so AI came up and we put our heads together. We looked at what are our strengths, how do we want this experience to be? And we used AI technology to create actually a moderator who looks exactly like me.
Okay,
So
I love that.
yeah, we built the workflows, that we designed the experience. We used scripts that were pre-built to kind of give the AI some life and some words to say. And
Right.
gosh, those my teammates were like, she is kind of creepy. She looks exactly like you. I kind of was even looking like, hey, wait a minute now,
So wait, you'll have to send me your avatar because we'll weave that
Yeah.
into your intro. Because
Okay.
I have my avatar, so when we open it up, it's my clone, and then we, have our phenomenal co-host, and May is just done a fabulous job, kind of
Oh,
sharing us a little bit about you. And
I
she's
love
an
it.
AI clone, so yeah, I would love for you to share us your clone. We'll weave it into how we talk about you. And yeah, ITSMF is a phenomenal organization for those who don't know about it. We do a lot to really pour into our next generation of leaders and making sure those who are already in technology that they get the polishing and the honing of leadership so they can take their careers to the next level. So great that you use it for that. How else are you using AI in your everyday?
Yeah, so I recently just built a website. I've just been doing some research on financial modeling. I've been really looking at building grocery lists. I mean, it's really every day I bounce ideas off of AI, kind of collaborate with AI to build website templates, email templates. It's really kind of an everyday thing for me. And I remember kind of before we went live, just kind of chit-chatting about kind of like the different tools and technologies. There's so many different types of AI, right?
Yep.
And I remember when I first started using AI, I was using it the more generative AI. And then it's kind of moved now to agentic AI. So I am kind of dibbling and dabbling with agentic AI to kind of see, hey, will you write an email for me? Or will you kind of go and do this research for me and retrieve it, bring it back to me and kind of see how it does. And with APIs and things like that. So playing around a little bit with that, but you can really never go wrong with generative, AI. Obviously, I like to check my sources, my resources, double check, triple check, but I really don't see myself kind of Googling things anymore. I'm really glad to see like Google has its own AI technology as well. So yeah, I kind of use it just for about anything really at this
Yeah,
point.
I think that's spot on, and I'm doing the same thing. So it's a huge research agent for me, and I leverage and I always bounce it off of three sources because I want to see the differences in what Gemini's going to say versus Chat's going to say versus Claude's going to say. So my whole thing is it's the rule of three. And I see how off are they in what they're presenting back to me because I do believe you have to trust but verify, right? So everything that comes back to you on AI, you can't take as gospel. You still have to use your mind to say, okay, is that right? Like if AI came back and said, Fern's got a Beyonce body, you and I both know we'd be checking that 2 or 3 times because that's not the case. But I aspire to have the Beyonce body. I'm just messing with you. I just think it's important to know that you'll get a lot of bevy of information, but you've got to trust and validate that before you say, okay, that's gospel as you move forward with your research and how you're using AI. So let me pivot. So you mentioned now 2 or 3 times you're a millennial. I'm just going to call myself your auntie. And what are the biggest fears for the millennials engaging with AI today?
Oh gosh, job loss.
Okay.
Job loss, human replacement. There's a book by Reid Hoffman about AI, and he talks about Zoomers, Doomers, Gloomers, and Bloomers. And he really talks about how the Gloomers and the Doomers feel like AI is going to take over the world or destroy the world completely. And with millennials and Gen Z, we're really trying to understand where do we find our place in the world, right? Folks like yourself who've kind of built, right, this AI technology and kind of created these pathways on what should AI look like and how should it kind of work. And you guys have done such a great job, right, in your generation of kind of defining, what a technology looks like in general for the folks coming up behind you and yourselves as well. This is why we have talking refrigerators and we've got delivery and Uber and right and all of the things. So I thank you guys for that. But it has caused a bit of fear because we want to use it as a tool, but we're seeing, right, like a lot of the companies trying to understand, can AI replace humans? And so that's, I think, where the kind of like the fear is. But that doesn't stop us from using it, because I do think millennials, folks, Gen, your generation,
Call me
the
the auntie. Just call me the auntie generation.
yeah, right, the Beyonce generation, yes. You guys, have created these avenues for us, and so it's really just about how do we use this as a tool and we keep it human centered so that it enables us to kind of take that baton, and create a better future for folks coming up behind us, right? And a better present for all of us. And so I think that's kind of like what the fear is, but I don't think people should be afraid of using it, because I do think that the people who use it are going to be the ones who benefit, who stay up on the trends, and who are able to help society, as a whole.
So whether you're a millennial, whether you're an auntie like me, which means you're a little bit woman of age, fear not. AI is your friend. AI is here to help you and leverage it every day. Kanshara, thank you so much for sharing your sweet soul and yourself with this journey on AI. We're going to park it right there and we will see you on the other side. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Bye.
Okay, Fern. Or do I call you Auntie Fern? I definitely got auntie/mentor vibes from today's discussion, but honestly, I think you both learned from each other. Here are a few nuggets I took away from the conversation. AI is your everyday partner, helping you create, research, brainstorm, and get more done with confidence. Don't let fear hold you back. The people who learn to work with AI will be the ones who stay ahead. And here's the big takeaway. Keep AI human-centered. Use it to amplify your ideas, not replace the people behind them.
Thank you, Tyrone. And thank you to our magical millennial, Ms. Canshara Washington, for sharing your perspectives and insights. Happy 4th of July to my friends in the U.S. Enjoy the festivities of our 250th anniversary. We will be back next week. Until then, continue to check us out on LinkedIn and YouTube. Listen, like, subscribe at The Fern Effect.